Check, check. Welcome to my show where the curtains breathe smoke, spotlights blink cold, telling secrets that I wrote. Heart on a tightrope, mind doing backflips, every word confessing, dressed up as ad libs. I juggle my demons, they call it a performance. Trauma and costume that's anxiety's chorus. Tickets will scar you, you pay with attention. I trade you my flaws for a moment of mention. The mic is a mirror and I rap to my face, trying to recognize me in a digital space. Crowd full of ghosts from a past I survived. They clap when I bleed, saying, damn, he's alive. Bass in my chest, like a second heartbeat. I'm a tortured soul, so I torture the beat. Applause, no. The crowd, no. The stage is a cage with invisible bars. I can't let my light dim. I'm a shining star. Applause is a drug and it's easy to get addicted. Love the attention, but hate how it's scripted. They want consistence on chaos and shoes. It'll all be okay if I can just stack them views. The void comes to me when it wants to confess. My shadows got followers. I guess I'm a success. All my friends stay scared. They text me every day saying, hey, great. I say, hey, get out my way. Welcome to my show where the hope wears a mask and faith is the burden, not a favor that you ask. I shake hands with strangers inside of my head. They all want control and they all want me dead, but I'm still here, standing on borrowed time, turning bad luck into borderline rhymes. Welcome to my show, Art from the Eight. Every word was a risk I'm scared to take. Dang it, I thought I knew all the words. Yo, what it do's, YouTubes, what it do's. Salute to you guys and welcome in. My name is Blizzy Blind. I hope you've had a beautiful, amazing, wonderful, beautiful day. I hope everything is all sunshines and rainbows and butterflies. I apologize. I want to start my stream, but I've been working on some other stuff, man, and I got sucked right back into it and I just got lost for a little bit. But then I remembered, I was like, oh, that's right. I wanted to stream about something. So here we are. But salute to you guys. Apparently, I just saw that. Oh, hold on. Let me bring it up. I'll just show y'all. Is it just before we get to the topic, something that I haven't watched before, and since you guys have seen it all the rest of it play out, I figured I might as well let y'all see all of it play out. So hold on. Oh dang! Never mind. How awesome for me! I saw it in my notifications that Penelope had tagged me in a video, but I never got to watch it. So, what do you call it? I'm just gonna pretend like it was a bunch of compliments and stuff. I'm just gonna pretend like it was a bunch of blind. You're so handsome and you're so smart. I doubt it, but that's what I'm gonna pretend in my head. I never actually got to see it though, but I did see it on my notifications. All right, hold on. Now we can just get straight into the topic. I wonder why. No, I don't. I know the answer. My bad. I was gonna say like why they keep deleting the videos, but I mean I know the answer. I get it. But check it out. On to better topics. Tonight we're gonna be talking about spirituality, purpose, God, religion, all of that stuff. And you see, I'm not going to talk about these things in the way that other people do. Usually when people talk about religion or spirituality, they have this this framework that they already have in their head where one thing is right and another thing isn't. And I don't even, that's a waste of time to me. But only because like it's obvious that everybody's not going to ever agree. And if any one of the religions was actually right, then their God would make a display and prove that. And that hasn't happened, so there's not even any reason to have that argument. Now, one thing you do see a lot though, what I see a lot though, what I've fallen victim to time after time after time is spiritual confusion. Oh, hey, Snowfire, welcome in. Salute. I hope you're having a great night. Spiritual confusion. You see, and the way that I have come to my conclusions about spirituality, and people get mad at me, people get angry with me because I'm so firm in what I believe, but I will not be moved, is because I found the answers within myself. And that's not to say that my answers would be the same as Snowfire's, for example. There's no guarantee that that's the case. My intuition or my spiritual voice could be completely different than hers. The thing is, though, is that you know what rings true to you as an individual, as a human, as a person. I can't I can't make. I shouldn't be. I shouldn't even have a say in how you have that dialogue with yourself. But spiritual confusion is everywhere. And in all honesty, man, when we get real and we actually look at all the data, most religion probably is spiritual confusion. To be honest, man. When you hear stories about how, dude, first of all, another topic for another day is going to be how America's a lie, yo. Like, America's a damn lie, dude. America was found by a bunch of butt touching ass actors and convicts. If you don't know that, you should really look at the history of America. There's a bunch of butt touching ass actors from England and convicts. And they came over here and they twisted and turned and used the Bible and paganism to feed their own agenda so that their families got all these legacy after legacy of rich plantations and shit, and everybody else got nothing. That's the history of America. So all of our spiritual teachings come with that background. Like, do you really think, imagine this. Imagine you have a farm, like all this land and a house on that farm, and you take a family hostage, and or not even a family, you start kidnapping babies, and you put them babies in the cellar, and they don't know any of the outside world. Are you going to tell them babies exactly how the world works? No, because it's completely counterproductive to what you're trying to achieve. Like, and I only say, I'm not trying to say to relate you to a baby snatcher or me to a baby snatcher. I'm just saying, like, if that's a simple terms to look at it under, we are the babies. We are the babies that have been snatched, bro. They're not going to tell us what's really going on in the world. You got to be dumb to think they are. Like, that's the thing that blows my mind. The most smartest people that I know are like stuck on this. It's everybody knows that type of mentality, and it's like, no, you dumbass, you were told that. You don't know that. You don't know that. Like, what do you know? No. And you don't really know much, man, when you think about it. Like I would be happy if we could go back to localized everything. Like, if our government was local, our food was local, even our contact. Like, if we couldn't, because foreign influence is what destroyed the government. Foreign influence is what destroyed the open free market, the free trading market. The thing is anybody can introduce spiritual confusion into the zeitgeist. If I, Blizzy Blind, wanted to spiritually confuse people, I very easily could. And a lot of people do do that without meaning to. A ton of people do it without meaning to. And a big issue too is that it feels good. It feels good to be okay. One of the quotes, I can't remember who said it, but one of the most important quotes that I think is very true, man. Very true to humanity. One of the like philosophers or whatever said it, but he said, if God did not exist, the creation of him would be essential to the survival of humanity. And it's the same thing as the placebo effect, dude. It's the same thing as the placebo effect. If you, it's the same reason why Satanists are successful. It's the same reason why Luciferians are successful. Because if you have this idea on what God wants you to do, and you are achieving at that level, then your existence is going to feel like you're in alignment, and you're going to feel like you're spiritually accomplished. So instead of raising our achievements, we have lowered the bar. Now, I don't know if you guys can vibe with what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is if you go back 50 years and you ask people what God wanted, they would actually quote the Bible. They would actually tell you what the Bible says, which I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. I'm not saying that us getting away from that is a bad thing, because if the Bible came from, like, that's the thing, man. I've had this conversation with God, and I say, God, forgive me, but I think all men are liars. So if you think that I should believe in Yahweh, then please show me that I should believe in Yahweh, because I don't trust them. It's not that I don't trust God, it's that I don't trust them, and you shouldn't either. Now, let's see. I haven't watched this video yet, but I thought the title alone was worth a watch. So we're just gonna go ahead and watch this and give our commentary on it. Hang on a sec. Oh, I gotta hold on. I gotta take my headphones off.
All right, so for this video, I'm going to talk about the two categories of false spiritual.
Confusion. I mean, I can't disagree with that yet, because I haven't seen what two types he's going to classify. But in my opinion, I think there's a whole lot more than two.
About like the paranormal, about dreams and everything else, right? And there are certain bodies of information that seem to be designed to confuse people and to waste their time, right? And there's also the entity aspect, right? And these are the two categories of the false spirituality that I'm talking about, which is that there's performative spirituality, and then there's entity based spirituality. And so I'll talk about the performative side, which is basically gift shop, fortune cookie spirituality. Anytime.
Hold on. I mean, dang, I don't know, man. I might just be in complete opposition to this video, because the thing is, man, and I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian, guys. I'm a Christian. I'm not a as good of a Christian as I would like to be, but I am a Christian. I do believe in the Christian God. Now, the thing is though, is that I also believe in humanity. I believe in humans. And the fortune cookie shit, the cliche stuff, all of this stuff is good. That's all good. That isn't even like the what is that? What Confucius and stuff like that. Like these things are meant to guide humans into doing better when they don't have spirituality, when they don't have religion, when they don't have this, when they don't have that type of mindset.
You see, like those new age channels doing the tarot card readings, and they have like the tapestries in the
Now you see, or let's listen to what he says.
back with like the chakras, and the Buddha's doing the Shamalama Ding Dong pose, and he's achieving enlightenment. And when the croak, like when the frog croaks at midnight, you will be led to the tree, and then when the tree splits open, you will be enlightened. And the disciple was enlightened, right? It's like that kind of, you know, I mean, that's the kind of energy that you're sort of looking for when it comes to the performative spirituality, right? And you probably met someone like this before, who like is someone who uses big words to sound smart, someone who bombards you with meaningless information and
you see though, this is the thing, man, is you cannot get into someone else's brain. Like I've heard this before, man, of people saying this, and this to me, man, is envy. Because you cannot get into someone else's brain. You can't just arbitrarily decide when somebody's being performative. So how can you say that has always pissed me off when people say that, because it's like, oh, they're just using big words to sound smart. Like, that's your projection. That's your assumption. There's no way to prove that. So like, you don't even know if people do that. I can't stand when people say things like that, because it undermines somebody's intelligence whenever you can't even actually challenge it.
in order to sound smart, right? And you don't have time to respond. You don't have time to keep up.
No, you don't have the capacity to keep up, bro. You don't have the capacity to keep up. That's the problem. You can't say that other person is dumb though because of that.
Right. And so like the performative spirituality that I'm talking about is more like it's like surface level stuff that makes you feel like you're progressing, but is really just a time waster. So anything tarot, astrology, um you know.
Now you see, I thought this was going to be an enlightening video. I really did. So I apologize if y'all don't feel enlightened by the end of this. But to me, this is somebody that seems to be in search of something that they haven't found, and therefore blames the outside world. There are many, 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 many benefits to all those practices, and all those practices come from sciences that were, or from pseudosciences or microsciences, whatever you want to classify them as, that help humanity, like help humans. There is no proof of anything. Is the thing, man, is that people want to pretend like as if one belief is proven and one isn't. There's just as much proof of the Christian God as there is tarot. And that's not sacrilegious, that's not blasphemous, that is factual. And people like this are this is more spiritual confusion, if you ask me.
Like the tapestries in the background, like whenever new age gurus wear the robes and everything else, and it's all just surface level stuff. It's like fool's gold. Like there's a certain luster that certain doctrines have.
But you see how he's already using buzzwords and stuff, man. That's my problem with people that don't. I don't know, man. I don't even know what it is that would encourage him to say all this. But and I've prayed about this. I have prayed about this. I've meditated about this. I have made sure that my existence is okay with this right here. Is that we are in godless times, though. Therefore, it's my opinion that you should put your faith in yourself and other human beings for the time being until we've gotten some kind of answers. Now, I know, I know that's a crazy thing to say, but I have meditated about it. I've asked God, and like I said, I've in my prayers, I've even told God, like, God, I don't believe anything that these people say. I don't believe anything that anybody of authority says, man. So please guide me to the right answer. And that's the answer that I have come across. But like this right here is just like blaming other people for you not being able to find spiritual alignment. And to me that's crazy, which I'm not saying that some of that doesn't exist. There are plenty of performance, like look at what's his name, Joel Osteen, somebody who's twisted the word of the Bible to become what to create what's called what prosperity doctrine, the prosperity doctrine, and that is basically using the word of God to make money. Now, that's wrong on every kind of level that you can think of, and it's purely performative. But you can't say that the Buddha was performative, bro. How could you say the Buddha was what was his name? Gandhi. Gandhi is who I meant. You can't say that Gandhi was performative, and even if I wouldn't believe it if someone told me that he turns out he was different in private, bro, because Gandhi gave up like years of his life in sacrifice for what he believed in. He gave up his whole life. So it's like you can't be in a glass house and throw stones at Gandhi, bro. Like who the fuck are you? Like that's the thing that trips me out, you know?
That because of the fact that they're complex and because of the fact that it seems like there's something there, people are drawn into it like moths to a flame, right? And this reminds me of like the first time I ever read about Kabbalah and like the tree of life stuff, like that tree of life diagram that they have. Right, like the first time I ever read about that, I was just like, this is complete bullshit. Like I had the sense that it was just complete bullshit because of the fact that there's like a dazzling complexity to that type of stuff, but like there's no substance to that kind of body of knowledge, right? And so
I mean, I do kind of agree with. Well, I agree with one thing: the Kabbalah is bullshit, but it's bullshit because the people that it comes from are bullshit. But that's just my opinion. But like, I'm pretty sure that the Kabbalah, the Talmud, the Torah, I'm pretty sure that they have substantive things to offer. I don't read that shit, but someone might. If you do, let me know. You can fill me in. Good night, Snowfire. Thank you for stopping by.
we have like the new age flavor of the performative spirituality, which is like the chakra system tapestries and like the wearing the robes and the astrology and the tarot stuff, and like you search up what is the meaning of angel number 888, and you search up like and there's like 1,000 AI generated videos like the meaning of.
He's right about that. He is right about that. I can't front. He is right about that.
888. 888 is a very powerful, meaningful number. And it means love and abundance. And your guardian angel is trying to communicate with you. It's like that type of stuff where it's like, oh, you saw like 777 on the license plate, and then you get like the most chat GPT AI generated, article about like what does 77 mean? 77 means love, prosperity, and abundance. And your angel guides are trying to communicate with you about the meaning of 777 is that there's 7 days in the week. Whoa, well, really? I didn't know that. Right. So
okay. Now he's warming up. Now he's cooking. A lot of those things are what they call synchronicities, because there are only so many patterns that can unfold before you in life, and a lot of them are going to overlap.
But that's the performative spirituality. It's stuff that
performative though. I mean, I guess so. Shit, a lot of that shit comes from the AI, man, and you got to be careful what you let the AI will get you sucked into one of its cycles of bullshit.
Is designed to be complex. It's designed to be overly complicated to draw people in, and then there's like the occult flavor of it, which is like the Kabbalah stuff, the Aleister Crowley stuff, the anything that's like designed with excessive complexity or with
Well, that's not the thing that makes Aleister Crowley's teachings big or followed. It's the fact that they like actually had tangible results to the people doing that shit. But the reason isn't because the magic works. The reason is because of the human aspect, the fact that they believe in what they're doing. Belief in yourself, man, is fucking powerful, yo. There's probably nothing more powerful than the belief in yourself.
I'm trying to find the right words to describe this, right? Like just it's designed with excessive complexity in order to.
Yeah, it's not performative. It's I mean, I don't even know what you would call it. It's manipulative. Like that's the only thing. It's just pure manipulation.
Sound smart. You got to get I feel like there's some people that know exactly what I'm talking about, which is, where you have people who use big words in order to sound smart. You have people who, they bombard you with meaningless information in order to sound smarter than they really are. That's what some of the.
That's okay. Now I'm starting to understand what he's saying, and this is all just my opinion. I'm giving my opinion on what he's talking about. I don't think what he's saying. Okay, I have an issue with the whole big words to sound smart thing because it's a ridiculous statement, but that's not the reason why those teachings are so complex, in my opinion. In my opinion, those teachings are so complex is because you need complex concepts to captivate humans. If you do not have complex concepts captivating humans and holding their engagement is not possible, or is not going to be it's not gonna happen. And that's all the Aleister Crowley, the book of the Golden Dawn or Golden whatever, and all those fools, like they were experts at captivating human belief. They were experts at captivating human engagement. And when humans are operating at a level where dude, look at all the wars that have been won or supposedly or whatever, just purely because the people that believed the hardest in themselves believed the way that they did. I mean, look at the Spartans, look at the Revolutionary War, look at this, look at that. I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about.
These spiritual doctrines sort of sound like, sort of look like, is that they're performative, right? Yeah, like the word performative is a very powerful word when
but they're not I mean, I guess I don't know, man. Because when I think of performative, I think to the masses, I think to the public. But what he's saying is true, I guess, in the aspect of like let's take Aleister Crowley for example. Aleister Crowley was doing all of this stuff to convince people, so it was performative, but it wasn't on display to the masses. It was only on display to the select few.
Describing these things because like the tarot stuff, the astrology stuff, like all of the new age channels that have the same Disney Channel intros with like the sparkles and unicorns at the start of each video, right? And it's like, welcome to the Divine Light channel. Today I'll be channeling Archangel Michael, and we'll be looking.
Oh man, he must be getting the same AI videos that I get. No, I listened to the girl with the lisp. She's like, yes, today. I can't remember what she says, but yeah, I get a lot of those videos too.
Be looking at the meanings of the angel numbers, and oh my gosh, you have a major arcana, right? It's like that type of stuff that.
Yeah, I don't listen to that stuff, but because I don't understand it, like, but astrology, in my opinion, I don't know anything about it yet. And I'll get there one day. I mean, I look at all those things like a book, and I'm going chapter by chapter. But astrology has the potential to be one of the more important supernatural sciences or whatever, because it's based on the celestial bodies that have been there since the beginning of who knows how long.
It's all performative. It's all there to make you feel like you're progressing on a spiritual journey, even though you're not. It's there to make you to make
That's so true. That's so true.
you go around in circles, right? And speaking of the channeling stuff, this leads me to the second category. This leads me to the second category of fake spirituality or false spirituality, which is entity based spirituality. And you see this in the New Age a lot too, which is this idea of channeling, of psychic mediumship, and all this other stuff where it's like, I'll be channeling Archangel Michael, or I'm gonna, or like they're using like Ouija boards in order to commune with the dead. Like, oh, well, let's talk to your dead relative. Like, it's not your dead relative; it's a demon pretending to be your dead grandma, right? It's like that kind of stuff for it's like
God damn. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but I didn't realize he was going to say that. I mean, let me ask y'all this: for anybody listening right now, or anybody watches on the replay, and I really want you guys to try to engage with me on this and give me y'all's opinion. But could demons exist even if God doesn't? And I'm not saying that he doesn't. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that because we have frameworks, right? Like we can only go by frameworks of like what we think or like what we've been told or what, like we don't actually have any actual answers. But is there a framework or is there a possibility or in which demons could exist in a framework where God doesn't? I'm curious.
Channeling another entity, letting another entity inside of your body take control of your body. That's not the answer. And there's also
Now, I do have to say, man, that channeling is like scary. And this is something I've never talked about, but if y'all notice, I have a very well, I mean, I'm sure some of y'all have noticed because some of y'all have made fun of me about it, but I have a unique speaking pattern. Like I have, and the reason that first, like where that originated was because when I first started doing YouTube, like if you allow yourself, you will literally, from what I felt like, it was being spiritually possessed, and you will get into this rhythm where you're like, and it's the same like when you feel it when it happens, and you get in this rhythm like the radio talk people get, like the Joe Rogan, like all these people have this like cadence where you're like in the rhythm, like you're in that pocket, and you're just like woo do 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 do, and it's just like everything's just flowing so smooth, and that's what people expect. That's what people want. People want to be hearing that, but I couldn't do it because I felt like I was being possessed or something. So I always interrupt my own thoughts and just like remind myself to just take pauses every now and then because I don't ever want to be like channeling something or something. But I think channeling is a real thing, man. I just don't know what you're channeling.
but there's also this other aspect too, which is something that I read about, like contacting entities using like visualization or whatever, or like trying to like ask an entity question for insights. And this is like a Trojan horse that I see a lot when it comes to like letting entities in or whatever, is that they'll say, oh, but you see, what you're actually doing, you're not contacting an entity. What you're actually doing is that you're contacting something that is, it's a symbol or an archetype. It's embedded itself into the collective mind of humanity, and you're actually contacting and it's your subconscious actually talking to you, right? Like that kind of stuff, where it's like, oh, well, you see, it's actually you've personified your subconscious mind, or it's a collective archetype that you're actually talking to, and you can tap into the collective mind of humanity. To me, that seems like a Trojan horse for entities to like shapeshift or disguise themselves.
Damn. Damn. See, this is, and y'all probably gonna hear me go, what the fuck is on my shoe, man? Hold on. What the fuck is that? Y'all probably gonna hear me go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth about how I feel about some of this stuff, because I don't actually have any kind of concrete answers. But it's like, and this is the reason why, like what he's saying, because it's like, dude, he's right. Like, if demons are real, and they tell you, oh, well, you can go astral project and you can channel and you can do all this stuff, where like, where a devout religious person would immediately think that that is demonic communication, and they say, no, well, that's just your, that I'd never heard it, that it was that there were these historic archetypes or whatever, which is very interesting. But it's like, damn, dude, that's very true. Like, you get comfortable with demons, thinking that the demons are part of your own brain. And it turns out, nah, dude, them demons are here to eat your asshole and take you to jail or to hell. That's just common sense.
As quote unquote archetypes to disguise themselves as, like, oh, like, well, you see, it's actually, and this is another thing too, is like the whole higher self, this idea that, oh, well, you see, here's how to contact or channel your higher self. Like, how do you know that quote unquote higher self isn't just some demon pretending to be your higher self, or it's not some archon entity trying to pretend, or some reptile entity pretending to be quote unquote Archangel Michael or your dead grandpa?
But this is my issue with that too, man. Is like, where's the proof of demons, bro? Like, where's, man? When I was young, we used to do. We were young, so we just called it spooky hunting. Like, we didn't know what we were looking for. We went to a witch's graveyard from the 1400s. We would lay on the stuff and all that, man. We were stupid. Anything and everything we could do to contact. And I thank God, I got over that very quickly. That was just a few years when I was young, but I have never in my whole life seen, and I don't want to, but I mean, I just haven't seen any kind of, oh shit. Well, no, during drug fueled psychosis, I have one time, but other than that, like, I've never seen any proof of any supernatural entities. Like, I just haven't. I mean, I know that some of you guys think that y'all have or say that y'all have, but I would, like, I think that both the imagination and wanting that to be the case is a big part of people who say that they have or haven't, or say that they have seen things like that. So it's like, what do we actually have proof of is really is where to start, I think.
Right. So that's another aspect of the entity based spirituality, and this is a common Trojan horse. They quit their job, they divorce their wife, they leave their kids and whatever, and like, and you see this with ayahuasca and DMT a lot, which is that people's lives completely derail.
Is that true? I mean, he says that, but I don't actually know that that is the case. I I've done peyote. I've done peyote, what do you call it, and I've had spiritual trips. But yes, I'm still here, bitch. Hold on, my TV is gonna or my other thing is gonna shut off. Hold up. Where's my remote? What the hell, man? My bad, guys. Hang on. I lost my remote. I'm looking for it. All right. I'm gonna take a break real quick. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, and I'm going to look for my remote. I will be back shortly. I'm gonna play a song for y'all. I'll be right back. Welcome to my show where the curtains breathe smoke, spotlights blink cold, telling secrets that I wrote. Heart on a tightrope, mind doing backflips, every line confessing, dressed up as ad-libs. I juggle my demons, they call it a performance. Trauma in costumes, anxiety's chorus. Tickets will scar you, you pay with attention. I trade you my flaws for a moment of mention. The mic is a mirror and I rap to my face, trying to recognize me in a digital space. Crown full of gold from my past that I survived. They clap when I bleed, saying damn, he's alive. Bass in my chest like a second heartbeat. I'm a tortured soul, so I torture the beat. The stage is a cage with invisible bars. Can't let my light dim, I'm a shining star. Applause is a drug and it's easy to get addicted. Love the attention but hate how it's scripted. They want me consistent, I'm chaos in shoes. All will be forgiven if I can just stack these views. The void comes to me when it needs to confess. My shadow got followers, I guess I'm a success. All my friends stay scared, text me every day saying I'm great. I say get out my way. Welcome to my show where the hope wears a mask and the faith is a dare, not favor you ask. I shake hands with doubt, we got history deep. He knows all my secrets, I doubt he'll say it peep. My voice is a weapon but I aim it at myself. Self-sabotage and I put me on the shelf. Welcome to my show, the lights are too bright. You can't see the tears when I say that I'm alright. I learned how to laugh in emergency rooms. I learned how to dance with impending doom. Dreams try and creep over me at night. They whisper don't quit, then they're gone by the light. I treat every beat like it's the last confession. Pastor is rhythm and church is in session. I stand with ambition, repent with regret. No betting on futures that I haven't even seen yet. Mine mostly dead, occasional spikes. I keep finding versions of myself I don't like. I shake hands with strangers inside of my head. They all want control and they all want me dead. But I'm still here breathing on borrowed time, turning bad luck into borderline rhymes. Welcome to my show, art from the ache. Every word was a risk I was scared to take. Broke with big dreams and a cracked phone screen. Now I'm rich in regrets and what I could have been. I used to want fame, now I want peace. Not to be hungry while everyone feasts. I pray to the sky, give voicemail replies, so I leave messages hidden in my lines. My soul needs a nap, my body needs rest. Welcome to the Blizzy Blind Show, it's the best. Welcome to my show where the curtains breathe smoke, spotlights blink cold, telling secrets that I wrote. Heart on a tightrope, mind doing backflips, every line confessing, dressed up as ad-libs. I juggle my demons, they call it a performance. Trauma in costumes, anxiety's chorus. Tickets will scar you, you pay with attention. I trade you my flaws for a moment of mention. The mic is a mirror and I rap to my face, trying to recognize me in a digital space. Crown full of gold from my past that I survived. They clap when I bleed, saying damn, he's alive. Bass in my chest like a second heartbeat. I'm a tortured soul, so I torture the beat. The stage is a cage with invisible bars. Can't let my light dim, I'm a shining star. Applause is a drug and it's easy to get addicted. Love the attention but hate how it's scripted. They want me consistent, I'm chaos in shoes. All will be forgiven if I can just stack these views. The void comes to me when it needs to confess. confess. My shadow got followers, I guess I'm a success. All my friends stay scared, text me every day, saying I'm great. I say, get out my way. Welcome to my show where the hope wears a mask and the faith is a dare, not favor you ask. I shake hands with doubt, we got history deep. He knows all my secrets, I doubt he'll say it Pete. My voice is a weapon, but I aim it at myself. Self-sabotage, and I put me on the shelf. Welcome to my show, the lights are too bright. You can't see the tears when I say that I'm alright. I learned how to laugh in emergency rooms. I learned how to dance with impending doom. Dreams try and creep over me at night. They whisper don't quit, then they're gone by the light. I treat every beat like it's the last confession. Pastor is rhythm and church is in session. I stand with ambition, repent with regret. No betting on futures that I haven't even seen yet. Mine mostly dead, occasional spikes. I keep finding versions of myself I don't like. I shake hands with strangers inside of my head. They all want control and they all want me dead, but I'm still here breathing on borrowed time, turning bad luck into borderline rhymes. Welcome to my show, art from the ache. Every word was a risk I was scared to take. Broke with big dreams and a cracked phone screen. Now I'm rich in regrets and what I could have been. I used to want fame, now I want peace. Not to be hungry while everyone feasts. I pray to the sky, give voicemail replies, so I leave messages hidden in my lines. My soul needs a nap, my body needs rest. Welcome to the Blizzy Blind Show, it's the best. Welcome to my show where the curtains bring smoke. Spotlights blink cold, telling secrets that I wrote. Heart on a tightrope, mind doing backflips. Every line confessing, dressed up as ad-libs. I juggle my demons, they call it a performance. Trauma in costumes, anxiety's chorus. Tickets will scar you, you pay with attention. I trade you my flaws for a moment of mention. The mic is a mirror and I rap to my face, trying to recognize me in a digital space. Crown full of gold from my past that I survived. They clap when I bleed, saying damn he's alive. Bass in my chest like a second heartbeat. I'm a tortured soul, so I torture the beat. The stage is a cage with invisible bars. My bad guys, I can't find my freaking remote, so I'm gonna have to do it a different way. Give me 1 second.
They completely go to shit right after they take the the DMT or the ayahuasca, and like oh my god, the machine elf told me that the DMT gestures, they told me that the universe was an egg, bro. The universe is an egg and everything's love, bro. And I'm just, and that's another thing about like the entity-based spirituality that I see, is that there is this huge component of like the DMT realm, the ayahuasca stuff, which is that, and you look at like the demonic jester entities that exist in the DMT realm, right? Those are Nephilim. Those are demonic entities that are in the DMT realm, and this is something that it comes from this channel called Understanding Conspiracy, right? And he talks about how the Nephilim look like clowns, or clowns look like Nephilim. Like the clown, the modern day clown or the modern day jester is actually modeled after the Nephilim, which are the hybrids between fallen angels and man that are listed in the Old Testament, listed in the Bible, right? So, and other ancient texts talks
Okay, good grief. I apologize. I couldn't find my remote for the longest time. It was under my laptop. What do you call it? But then I found my remote, and my remote don't want to work on my TV, so I literally had to like go through all this trouble. But this dude is saying some stuff that was so interesting that I couldn't not finish listening to it. So with you guys, so let me just rewind it a little bit, and we'll get back to it.
Mediumship and all this other stuff where it's like I'll be channeling Archangel Michael or spirituality, and you see this in the New Age a lot too, which is this idea of channeling, of psychic mediumship, and all this other stuff where it's like I'll be
It sounds like he says psychic comedian.
channeling Archangel Michael, or I'm gonna, or like they're using like Ouija boards in order to commune with the dead. Like, oh, well, let's talk to your dead relative. Like, it's not your dead relative; it's a demon pretending to be your dead grandma, right? It's like that kind of stuff where it's like channeling another.
But to me, man, it's like, why would you want to even tempt the forces? Like, why would you even? I mean, I understand. Like I said, I did it when I was in my young teens years, just because I didn't know any better. But like, once you understand that, even if all the supernatural shit ain't real, uh, self-fulfilling prophecies are. Self-fulfilling prophecies are, right? I mean, you can jinx yourself just by talking about something out loud, or just by mentioning it before it's time or something. So I mean, if you're a logical person, why would you tempt the forces?
Entity, letting another entity inside of your body take control of your body. That's not the answer. And there's also this other aspect too, which is which is something that I read about, like contacting entities using like visualization or whatever, or like trying to like ask an entity question for insights. And this is like a Trojan horse that I see a lot when it comes to like letting entities in or whatever, is that they'll say, oh, but you see, what you're actually doing, you're not contacting an entity. What you're actually doing is that you're contacting something that is, it's a symbol or an archetype. It's embedded itself into the collective mind of humanity, and you're actually contacting and it's your subconscious actually talking to you, right? Like that kind of stuff, where it's like, oh, well, you see, it's actually you've personified your subconscious mind, or it's a collective archetype that you're actually talking to, and you can tap into the collective mind if you met that. To me, that seems like a Trojan horse for entities to like shapeshift or disguise themselves as quote unquote archetypes, to disguise themselves as, like, oh, like, well, you see, it's actually, and this is another thing too, is like the whole higher self, this idea that, oh, well, you see, here's how to contact or channel your higher self. Like, how do you know that quote unquote higher self isn't just some demon pretending to be your higher self, or it's not some archon entity?
I mean, I've never heard that. I've never heard of channeling your higher self. But I mean, why would you need to channel your higher self? Like, you would think that you would just be able to either accomplish that or not. But like, why would you need to channel it? Just channeling it alone would make me suspicious.
Trying to pretend, or some reptile entity pretending to be quote unquote Archangel Michael or your dead grandma, right? So that's another.
He said reptile entity. Fuck. I think we are approaching the edge, guys. I think we're approaching the edge, and we're about to fall off of it, maybe. I didn't realize he said that. Let's continue though.
Aspect of the entity based spirituality, and this is a common Trojan horse, which leads to demon possession, and like a lot of times, or it leads to people contacting entities, and then they get fed false information, or they get fed just meaningless information, or they get fed advice that completely derails their life. Like they get fed like they get a dream or something where it's like they say, oh, you should move to India and become a shaman or whatever. It's like they quit their job, they divorce their wife, they leave their kids and whatever. And you see this with ayahuasca and DMT a lot, which is that people's lives completely derail.
I've never seen that. I've never even heard any. I've only heard good things about DMT. I haven't heard much about ayahuasca, but I've heard some, but I've only heard good things. I've never actually heard of anybody. I mean, I've heard it's possible, but I've never heard of anybody that it actually happened to.
Completely go to shit right after they take the the DMT or the ayahuasca, and like the oh my god, the machine elf told me the DMT gestures, they told me that the universe was an egg, bro. The universe is an egg and everything's love, bro. And I'm just and that's another thing about like the entity based spirituality that I see, is that there is this huge component of like the DMT realm, the ayahuasca stuff, which is that, and you look at like the demonic jester entities that exist in the DMT realm, right? And those
I've just seen for the first time. This dude's his, because he's not on camera, but his little thing up here says your radiation level has increased. That's pretty funny. And then this says just a religion about cutting. What does that say? About cutting rocks. LOL. No, it's no big deal. Don't worry about it. Oh, Masons.
are Nephilim. Those are demonic entities that are in the DMT realm, and are like the demonic, like the DMT based spirituality that I see, is that there is this huge component of like the DMT realm, the ayahuasca stuff, which is that, and you look at like the demonic jester entities that exist in the DMT realm, right? Those are Nephilim. Those are demonic entities that are in the DMT realm, and this is something that.
Is he talking about the elves? I wonder if he's talking about the elves.
It comes from this channel called Understanding Conspiracy, right? And he talks about how the Nephilim look like clowns, or clowns look like Nephilim. Like the clown, the modern day clown or the modern day jester is actually modeled after the Nephilim, which are the.
I wonder if he's talking about the elves. Like when you do like mushrooms, like a lot, or when you do like certain drugs, you'll see these elf things. But what I've always thought it was I always thought it was a trick of your vision. I always thought it was your vision like bleeding. I don't know if y'all guys know what that means, but I always thought that was your vision, the dark spots in your vision bleeding.
Hybrids between fallen angels and man that are listed in the Old Testament, listed in the Bible, right? So, and other ancient texts talk about hybrids too. Like there's reptilian hybrids in all religions, right? Like they all talk about it, but Nephilim is the biblical term for the.
Man, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, because it stands to reason that there would be. To be honest, I mean, it stands to reason that there would be reptilian people, we're monkey people, and then fish people, and then, I mean, like seriously. But it's like, where are they at?
Hybrid entities, right? And their spirits reside in this DMT realm, and they get possessed by a jester, and then they completely ruin their lives. Everything goes backwards, right? And this is a common theme that you see with like people who go to the ayahuasca retreats, is that they either get fed false information, or they get fed false advice, or they just get possessed, and their entire life gets ruined, or they get into like these hell realm experiences where they get like tortured by these entities for their loosh, which I think that the shamans are sort of in on it. I do.
I'm not sure what that is. Loosh?
I think that the shamans in the DMT and ayahuasca rituals are in on it. They're possessed by they might offer these people as almost like in exchange for something else, right? Who knows? And this is also a problem. This is the thing with like the DMT stuff also, is that these shamans will actually rape women who are high on the DMT and high on the ayahuasca. That's something that they do, by the way.
What? I wonder what proof he has of that, or how he knows that.
So if you're a woman and you're thinking about going to take ayahuasca or DMT, it's probably not a good idea if you don't want to get R-worded. if you don't want to get raped. I'll just say it. I don't know why I'm censoring myself. But this leads to another thing, which is this is an energy that I notice with a lot of these bodies of information. With when it comes to like Kabbalah, which is just like and then you travel through the 10 Sephiroth, through the paths, and then you meditate, and then you say Om Shama Lama, and if you say Om Shama Lama, only then will you open the gateway of light and enter the pure land, the pure realm of light, and then you will enter the temple of the God, and then they will ask you riddles 3, right, like that kind of stuff. There's something that I noticed with that, which is that one, it's sort of a troll energy. It is sort of like a gesture.
See, this is what I had heard. Like when I was looking for my remote, and I was like, you know what, I have to listen to this intently. What do you call it? But he's right about. I mean, some of the things like some of the things I disagree with. I don't know if he's right or wrong, but I agree with him that there is sort of like a troll energy when they do like that 3 riddles shit and stuff like that. Like it seems for no reason. It just seems like a troll, like just to laugh.
Like energy, which is like they're telling you BS information in order to confuse you, in order to sort of yank your chain. It's almost like it's like they're trolling you for like the lulz, right? And this is something that is interesting when it comes to like the clowny behavior, or like the jester behavior, which jesters in the DMT realm are the Nephilim, right? So, but there's a certain troll energy when it comes to these bodies of information, when it comes to especially like a lot of the occult stuff, a lot of like the Aleister Crowley stuff, a lot of the Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism stuff. It has that sort of like Reddit wall of text energy to it, which is it's just a wall of text to just bombard you with information. And I think that it's safe to say that anytime you come across something like that you should say, I ain't reading all that, right? It's okay to
I agree with that completely. I 100% agree with that.
Say that if it's because these are authors of confusion. These are bodies of information that are deliberately designed to be confusing.
And I have to be clear, man. Like I actually agree with all of what this guy's saying. I just think that he's limited in his scope because he seems to still be operating from a place to where he believes this and not that. And just from my experience, from everything I've seen, it's neither this or that, or neither this or that. It is something completely unknown.
And obfuscating to truth and wisdom, right? And knowledge and information can be anything. It can be like brain rot. Can you imagine like the DMT jesters doing like 6-7? Oh my gosh! Like, we need to analyze like the value of 6-7, right? It's like and for those who don't know, I mean, like 6-7 is just like a brain rot thing that's on YouTube Shorts. But like that's basically what these DMT jesters are doing, is that they're presenting you with spiritual brain rot.
Hey, dude, that's pretty profound what he just said, because it's so true. Like we need to analyze and discuss 6-7.
And people think that it actually means something, and so they spend their entire lives, people might actually be driven insane looking for stuff that isn't there, and they get trolled by these entities because they think that there's something there when there's not. And it's very like a good analogy that I like to use for like the performative spirituality yet again is sour Skittles, right? It's like candy. It's like you know how when you were a little kid you wanted to eat candy and pizza all the time and you didn't want to eat vegetables. You didn't.
Sour Skittles are the bomb, I have to say. That's my favorite kind of Skittles.
You didn't want to eat meat. You didn't want to eat rice because it doesn't taste as good as M&Ms, right? Like that's a trap that I think a lot of New Agers fall into. That's a trap that a lot of people who are into like the Kabbalah stuff and the occult stuff fall into, is that they're basically eating spiritual candy, like the astrology and the tarot stuff. It's all performative. It's all
Man, he's got some good points. I would just add that's not the only thing at play, because a lot of it also is, like I said, people have lowered the bar. People want to feel like they're achieving spiritually when they're actually just lowering the bar and making the goal less. So I mean, but what he's saying is true also. Like that is one component of it, in my opinion.
This level stuff, it's all dazzling. It makes you feel like you're progressing. It makes you feel like you're doing something, even though it's actually wasting your time and there's no spiritual nutrition actually there. And you look at the people who do drugs all the time, and you look at the people who, like their entire personality is smoking weed and doing shrooms, and you look at them and you're like, dude, the universe is an egg. And dude, this one time, this machine outfit showed me it showed me like this fractal pattern, but it actually turned out to be a chicken. And then the chicken opened its third eye, and then I dove into it, and then I became a sperm, dude. Whoa, dude! Like all of that is just like meaningless, So yet again, it's sour Skittles. Yes, it's dazzling, but how does this inform you about the general nature of reality? How does this bring you more truth as to how things operate? Is this elucidating, right? And this is how I'll end the video, right? Is that
I mean, sour Skittles are fire, man. But he has a good point in the fact that they look dazzling and pretty and sparkly, but they're sour than a bitch. Oh, hey, Uncle, welcome in. Salute. I hope you're having a great night tonight.
you should choose to search for information or to search for knowledge that elucidates, that clarifies your vision of reality. And this is like there's a certain vibration.
Well, you see, that's the scary part, man. That's we have poisoned ourselves against truth with information. We have literally put the hurdle of truth up before us against or with information, because it's like what he just said is not the way to do things either. You shouldn't look for information that clarifies your perspective, because if you do, you'll put yourself in an echo chamber. If you only look for information that clarifies your perspective, you see, that's the problem though, man, is that like at least ideally, we're supposed to like be given a foundation to build on as kids. Like we're supposed to be given a correct foundation as kids, and we're not. It's frustrating, to be honest.
And a certain energy that truth and wisdom has to it, where something rings.
Now that is true. That's the way I feel. Like something, your inner voice knows how to discern truth.
True, so to speak, right? When like ringing vibration, right? So I think that there is something to that phrase of like something ringing true, and that there's a vibration to truth, right? Like think about like the whole like tunnel of light reincarnation trap stuff, right? That whatever I learned about that, it clarified a lot of things about why things are the way they are. Why is Earth like this? Why is it that we have a memory wipe during reincarnation? Why is there a light tunnel? Why is there so much suffering on the Earth? And so the whole soul trap, reincarnation trap information, it clarified.
Well, we're gonna have to go back to his other videos and see what he's talking about, because I don't have any idea what he's talking about.
Things, right? But a lot of these bodies of information, they leave you with more questions than answers, right? And I'll say this also, is that there's a difference between there is a major difference between curiosity and confusion. Like if you learn something and out of curiosity you want to learn more, that's a good thing. But if you read something from like anyone that, and you should throw out a book anytime there's a book that's written by someone who's from a secret society. Anytime there's a book that has like the gay like spelling of like magic, like, it's like magic with the K at the end, like how to perform ritual magic, right? Like anytime there's that spelling in the title of the book, you should probably throw it out. You should probably just mentally throw it in the garbage, because a lot of it is just, it'll leave you with more questions than answers, and it's designed to do that. Yet again, like these some of these bodies of information, I genuinely believe come from the demonic realms. I do think that there are certain bodies and spirit of information, certain spiritual doctrines that are designed by these entities to waste people's time, to confuse people, to make people go around in circles, thinking that they're doing something, looking for something that isn't there. right? And I think that you should search for the vibration of truth. You should, and this is where
I mean, you can't really argue with what he's saying. Shoot.
like gut instinct comes in. Like if you just develop your gut instinct and listen to your intuition, you can replace 90% of spirituality with just listen to your gut.
Facts. Facts. That's what I was saying at the beginning of the stream. That's exactly what I think too. I think that we have become disconnected from that thing inside of us that tells us what truth is.
What is it like when something rings true? Not that it makes you feel good, because there are uncomfortable truths out in the world, right? So it's not whether or not it makes you comfortable, right? But it's not whether or not it makes you feel, it fills you with butterflies and it makes you feel like unicorn farts, right? It's not about that, because like that is a trap that a lot of new agers fall into, which is that they fall into it because it feels good, not because it's true. But there's a difference between something feeling good and you intuitively, not emotionally, but you.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. There's a difference between something feeling good and being fulfilling. Big difference.
You intuitively feel that something is true. You can sense truth. You can sense truth when something rings true. And if you develop that faculty, you can filter out 99% of the BS that is in these false.
And to be honest, man, this is what makes, you see, AI has dissolved the middle ground, and it's doing it more and more by the day. Wrestler said that I worship AI, and I take issue with that. I know he was just being sarcastic or exaggerating or whatever. I don't actually worship AI at all. I actually find a lot of bad things about AI, but there are some good things too, man. And one of the good things is that it's dissolving the middle ground between Hollywood and citizens, between Washington D.C. and citizens, the Supreme Court and citizens, this and this and this. Like, it's making it to where every person is just a person. And I bring that up because the most dangerous people in the world are actors, believable actors. Hollywood has completely destroyed people's ability to sense truth by putting together movies that you believe, that you have no actual way of knowing if the stuff is actually believable or true.
Doctrines. And yet again, like the two main categories, right, are the performative spirituality, which is astrology, tarot, like the New Agers having tapestries in the background and wearing robes, and talking a certain way, like, oh my gosh, hi, we're gonna do crystal magic today, and it's like that's the performative gift shop, fortune cookie spirituality. And then there's the entity based spirituality, which is contacting entities, channeling entities, mediumship. These are the two main categories that I see, at the time of recording this video, right, that I see that should be avoided. And yet again, look for that vibration of truth, look for that vibration of wisdom. Because if you can develop that gut instinct, you can tell when something is designed to confuse you. You can sense, like, there's a certain smell that these bodies of information have. There's a certain smell that these that these authors of confusion have. Anytime that you read a spiritual book, think about like Scientology, all the shit that they put in.
Now, I don't know about a smell, but I do know that what he's saying is true about your discernment, man. Discernment is the single most important aspect of a human being's life, because a human being without discernment is literally just a puppet. And they may not even be a puppet to a specific entity. They may not even know what they're being a puppet of at all. But that is what I believe we amount to if we don't have discernment. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night, guys. That's the end of that video. That's Schizo Dumps. If y'all aren't familiar with that channel, shoot, go by and give it a sub or a like or something. Maybe he might be able to add something to your journey. But other than that, guys, I will talk to y'all soon. Remember, there's your side, there's her side, and there's the blind side. Blind side news. Y'all be good on that here. Peace.